Does anyone have a question? Go ahead, Chris.
Yes, hello, Stuart. Um, I have a question regarding what you think about chronic activity, and I keep doing my own research online regarding this to get some information about this because I'm experiencing quite a lot of it lately, what I believe is a lot. But
Christy, I don't quite
no,
there's static, and I don't hear what there's like static.
is that better?
I don't know what maybe it's my computer.
Um, is that better?
I can hear you, but it's not clear.
Ah, okay. I'll try another time maybe.
What is the question?
How do you? Now it's an echo. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to know your feelings on product activity, and I've been doing some research online of my own to find some answers as to how to tell if any sort of movement and product activity is actually from a higher source. I don't know how else to, or if it's real.
Um, I'm not. I don't know. There's an echo every time I talk. I don't know what. Hang on a second. Hello? Can you hear me? All right, the echo went away. Christy, I'm sorry. Repeat your question. Make it short.
What is? How do you feel about product activity, and how do you know when it's real?
How do we know? Oh,
Yes.
how do we know which way to act?
No. It's,
I don't understand the question.
Can I just say, Christy has to mute herself when you speak because it's your echo in her computer that's happening. So after she's asked her question, she just needs to mute and then you can answer without an echo. Does that make sense?
No. Maybe I'm just foggy here. I don't know, but I don't quite get. Well, the echo has stopped.
Yeah, so when Christy has her microphone unmuted and she's speaking, your echo is in her microphone coming back to all of us, but when she's muted, we just hear you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Christy, let's try again, okay? And then as soon as you ask the question, just mute yourself, okay?
how do you feel about chronic activity, and when is a person who's experiencing that? How do they know when it's real?
Now mute yourself so I don't have an echo. Um, look, I mean, I get this a lot. How do you know? And somehow something changes inside you. You see the world more clearly. You're capable of responding to things more clearly. Uh, it's not like you know in your mind. You don't. You're just living it. And the actual living it enables you to act in the world with consciousness. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to mull it over, figure it out. You understand you are a living entity in the world and you can respond to whatever is given to you in life. because you've grown enough inside yourself to have developed a system inside that is strong enough to be able to understand what is real and what is illusion. How do you know? You don't really ever know because every situation is different. Every person you interact with is different. But every person and every situation you interact with is bringing to you, a different aspect of yourself that you have to learn to deal with. And when you can just quietly and simply, answer people and not get caught up in the soap opera of the moment and the dramas that take place in people's lives, and to be able to sustain your connection with a higher force in the universe. I mean, you don't know, but you live it. It becomes a living expression of your life, your time, the way you act in the world, how you function every day in life. And it is not something that you kind of cognitively in the mind know, but you live it. It becomes a living expression of the level of life you have attained. And when you interact with people and there's arguing and fighting, it's like somebody asked me the question yesterday. Her fiance moved into her apartment and brought a dog, and she can't get along with the dog. The dog drives her crazy. So I said to her, look, what in you does the dog remind you of that is upsetting you about being with this dog? And if you can find that place in yourself and really overcome it, transform it into an open heart, into love, into understanding, you will never have any problems with that dog. The dog is like your teacher. It's showing you that you have things inside you that have to be worked out. People are your teacher. I mean, if people would only live this way, there would be no more wars. I remember when 9/11 took place in New York. It was a horrible thing. But my first thought is, what did we do here to deserve this? What did we do here to antagonize people so deeply that are willing to fight buildings into the World Trade Center? And if people would just think that way instead of getting revenge and how can I fix me, to totally tune in to people that do insane things around me. And, suddenly you begin to see the world differently. And this is not an intellectual thing. This is part of the evolution of your inner growth. You come to a place where you can just function like this, where you understand that whatever happens in your life is teaching you about yourself. And then if you listen and learn and go deep enough inside, you can fix it. I remember the story I used to tell a long time ago. I used to work in a bar when I was younger. And, I was a waiter, and the bartender, I mean, I couldn't go and ask him for a martini on the rocks without getting into a fight with this guy. I mean, he used to so annoy me that I just couldn't take. Anyway, one day I'm standing at the bar and there's nothing to do, and he's talking to one of the waiters about how he's going to meet his girlfriend at midnight and have a midnight breakfast. And I said, oh my God, this woman must be a saint. What does she see in him that she can truly love him? What am I missing? Why am I blocking out that part of this man that I can like? What in me is creating the problem? And when this guy was a great teacher for me and a guy I couldn't even stand to be around. He was a great teacher. And when I realized this, my whole connection with this person changed. And I started acting towards him differently. And I started wounding up having conversations with him, laughing with him. It became a whole different interaction, me and another human being. So basically, what I'm saying is that don't blame the world Go inside yourself and find out what you have done to attract this situation and work on yourself till you truly find the answer. And you'll begin to see that that person, that dog, that cat, that whatever it is, was sent into your life to teach you something that you need to learn about yourself. Listen to them and don't get upset, but find out what in you relates to them this way. And then you have an opportunity to change that and to grow in two ways. One is spiritually, and the other one as a human being, so that you begin to act consciously in the world and, able to treat other human beings with consciousness and to understand that God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, sends us these situations to remind us that we need to change and grow. You know, I mean, if politicians would just learn this, I'm telling you, all these stupid wars would stop. They'd start listening to each other. What are they telling me about me, about my ego, my need to control, about my being right all the time? And I know better than everybody else. It's just bullshit. And all it does is it creates madness in the world. So I think it's important, and this is not something you can just do. You have to grow inside yourself, develop a chakra system inside that is really strong enough to do what I'm talking about. And then your actions change. Your ability to interact with other human beings changes. And somebody who's a supposed enemy, you can walk up to them with a smile on your face and say, thank you. You've just taught me how to become more human. The beginning of people learning how to live together, like each other, be human beings, learning why we're born here on this planet so that we can master all this stuff. And instead of being upset because other people do things we don't like, why don't I like that? What in me has attracted this? This person reminding me of something that they're doing that I don't really like and is really upsetting me. What can I do to change inside? I mean, what I'm talking about is not easy to do, but it is an outgrowth of developing a connection with spirit. And an outgrowth of building a system inside yourself that truly is strong enough to do what I'm talking about. And you don't even know it. One day it just happens. You can just interact with the world that way. And you have a better sense of humor about life. You have a better sense of humor about yourself, which is even more important. And you don't get caught up in all these ridiculous soap operas and, you know, fighting and people just trying to tear each other to pieces because somebody does something they don't like. I mean, it would be a different place we live in. I mean, the media would go crazy because they wouldn't have too much negative to report about. There'd be no more media. Negativity would disappear in the world. So it's not something you cognitively understand, it's something you grow into. You have developed an inner life that is strong enough to live that. You're no longer intimidated by somebody else's bullshit. That's wonderful. Not to be intimidated by somebody else's insanity. You have the inner strength to just say, hey, let's talk about this. Now, look, what I'm talking about, I don't expect the world to change, but I expect myself to change. I really do. And I have changed because I used to get really upset at people. They would bring me their stuff and I would, oh my God, I would take them out. I would, you know, stepping on an ant sometimes. I used to get so angry. And now, I mean, yes, sometimes, but it stops in a few seconds. Not worth blowing the energy. And also, you never get an answer if you're right. Rudy always used to say he'd rather be wrong than right. And I didn't quite understand him then, but I understand him now. If you're wrong, teach me something. I'm wrong. Teach me something. I don't have to defend my rightness. My ego is not at stake being wrong. What can I learn from you? That's how you act with more consciousness in it. It makes life a lot more peaceful, I'll tell you. Spend your day being upset at everybody. Just live. Does anyone else have a question? Just to finish this, whatever situation comes into your life, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, boring, whatever it is, it teaches you this. It comes to you because you have to learn something. And the universe sends it. And getting upset at it is really getting upset at one of God's messengers telling you about yourself. And it's also the best way to ever keep anybody from stepping all over you. You have the strength inside to say, no, no. Does anyone else have a question they would like? Very good question, Kristen. My God, huh? Took us a while to get there, but we got there. Does anyone else have a question they'd like? I mean, you got to realize that we live in God's world. It's not a world constructed from our ego and the way we think life is supposed to be, because life will never be the way we think it's supposed to be. But it's always and endlessly teaching us that we got to go deeper inside ourselves, to learn the lessons of what comes to us every single day. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, there'll be meditation on Thursday. And as I say, and you're all probably sick of hearing, thank you, and God bless you all. Your presence here really helps me to grow. I need it. I need to grow in my life. And I have just deep gratitude for each and every one of you that attend these classes. So thank you, and God bless you. There'll be meditation on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you,
Thank
Stuart.
you.